I guess it's the conundrum with a lot of things. Facebook is by far the big giant, but if you scale up all the other social networks, then they can each have an audience. The problem is you got to be just as good on any platform you try to support as you are on the best platforms you are at supporting. So I don't want to be on a social network unless I have some reason to be there or competence in that community. Facebook and Twitter are no-brainers. You really, I mean, for two reasons. One is Facebook really gives you that scale. We've got, there are TV stations out there. I think the first local TV station just went over 1 million Facebook followers. That's at KABC in Los Angeles. Others are above 500,000. We've got several that are, between 1 and 300,000. And that's, you're able to hit, even if Facebook is dialing back or threatening to dial back some of the organic engagement you get. The fact is when you're talking about audiences or potential audiences in the six figures, then there are certainly places where you would want to get a big chunk of that audience, and you think social media can help you get that audience. Certainly engage with them day by day. So we know, you just got to be on Facebook and strong at it. It is worth the investment that it takes in training people and building up a network of people who are active in Facebook and practicing and learning and taking your analytics and figuring out where you're succeeding and where you're struggling, figuring out who your stars are and building around them. It is worth all of that investment because you know that you can reach so many people in your market to hit them with messages that benefit your brand. Twitter, to me, if you're really great on Twitter, my guess is you're really great as a newsroom on so many other things. If by great on Twitter doesn't mean just posting links from your website or updates in between those links. It really means engaging in conversation. And the best accounts on Twitter are those that really spend a lot of time in the replies and the retweets, making sure that they're engaging with what people in their communities are talking about. Communities can be local, of course, we're local businesses, but also communities of topical interest. When you're reporting on a story, you want to be engaged in a community that might have experts in that community and have some of your conversations online or in front of some people. It really does help the community in general understand what it is you're trying to report on. To me, if you're not great at Facebook or Twitter, then you're probably struggling in other areas of your newsroom operation as a whole. The other ones, listen, I love Instagram. It's a great app. It's a very powerful social network now. It now lets you do video, and video is something that we should be the best at as broadcasters. The photos are beautiful. Again, it's really good for engagement. It has a lot of value to it. You start going down from there, into Vine and some of these other networks. I mean, there's now media and politicians using Snapchat. I mean, I don't quite know what the point is, because it really, if you're trying to draw a connection between the business and your community, well, the fact is your community is on all these other networks. I just, again, a friend of mine told me about one yesterday that I can't remember the name of it right now. It's one of those catchy, clever, made-up names, but it's really trying to organize around music, and it's brand new in the, well, I don't know if that'll be a big deal or not, or if it's a big deal to people in my local audience. I haven't heard about it anywhere else except for someone who lives far away from me. But maybe in 6 months we'll all be talking about that. I think a